Capricorn. So, you know how we are the workhorse of the zodiac. By the way, I'm a Capricorn. If you didn't know, if you're a first time watcher, I'm Lamar Townsend. I'm a natural intuitive, clairvoyant, clairaudient, empathic, psychic tarot reader, and an artist slash musician slash designer slash freelance designer. I mean, I'm kind of a jack of all trades. So yeah, thank you for listening and watching. Follow me on Instagram at Lamar Townsend. Like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lamar Townsend official. And check out my website, lamartownsendtarot.com, for your own personal, private, confidential psychic tarot reading or your own birth chart reading. Once again, all the information will be listed on my website where you can purchase your reading directly at lamartownsendtarot.com. And if you would be actually interested in my freelance design skills for whatever reason, check out my website, lamartownsend.com. I did go to school for advertising, creative advertising, so yeah, which is partially design, partially business. It was a partially design, partially business track, but it was mostly a design track for sure, and a concept track. So I think that's part of actually the reason why I'm so good at pumping out these YouTube videos, and I'm really good at thumbnails and stuff like that, because I actually went to ad school slash design school slash concept school. I mean, I went to one of the hardest, probably, advertising schools, art schools, just kind of schools in general in my state. Actually, I think it's the number one art school in the country, actually. But anyways, I digress. Capricorn. We're workhorses. What can I say? What can we say? We love to work. We work hard for our money. We work hard for whatever it is that we have, right? And I don't know about you, Capricorn. Well, most Capricorns at least work hard, like, right? You know, some we do sometimes have our lazy moments. I definitely have my lazy moments, but for the most part, we're hard workers, right? I don't know about you, Capricorn, but I have waves of productivity. Kind of like how you have waves of prosperity and then you have low points, or like, kind of just like stagnant, not really moving up or down points. I think it's important that we learn as Capricorns that when we have these waves of productivity, like when we just feel really energetic and we feel like we can get everything done and we can get all things done, and we with that mindset we usually do end up getting all the things that we need to get accomplished done. But then, like, we can sometimes not take full advantage of that wave of productivity that we're feeling. It's almost like, okay, I'm feeling good. I did all the things on my to-do list, I'm just gonna chill now. I don't know what to do with rest of this energetic energy. I'm gonna sit on the couch and watch TV or waste my time on Facebook. Like, it's important to use those waves of energy, those waves of productivity as a Capricorn to our benefit. And I think it's important to really, when we have those waves of energy, to work towards goals that will ultimately benefit us in the long term. Whether it be, getting our finances in order, whether it be looking for a new home, a new apartment, whether it be just doing things ahead of time, you know what I'm saying? Just getting ish done, right? And then, of course, just as we have those waves of productivity, we have those low points where we crash, right? Ultimately, because we can't always be that high functioning, that, high energy, zoom, like light speed ahead, focused Capricorn all the time. That gets super duper exhausting, right? So eventually we crash, and then we feel bad because we're Capricorns. We can't What are we doing? We can't just sit and do nothing. I'm tired, but my body's tired, but my spirit's telling me I have to keep working. You know. However, the thing is if you use those waves of productivity, if you ride those waves of productivity instead of fighting them, or not pushing yourself to their ultimate limits, riding the wave, getting there halfway and then being like, okay, I'm good, and then just, crashing, like, don't do that, right? Ride the wave to its fullest height, its fullest potential. And then ultimately what goes up must eventually come down, right? But as that wave, as that energy hits its highest peak, don't you want to kind of ride with it? You know? Does that make sense? And then, it ultimately comes back down. And then we're back to square one. We need to chill out, rest, right? Because rest is just as important as work action. And we feel less guilty when we hit those low points of energy and we need to rest, when we've done all that we could, when we've reached our highest potential, when we work towards our highest potential during that rush of energy, that wave of energy, that wave of productivity that we got from the cosmos, from just maybe the planets were in a certain position in the sky, during that week, that month, those few days, just ride it, just ride it, just go with it, Capricorn. Don't question it. Know that ultimately it's going to reach another low peak. You're not going to be feeling like, I can do anything, I can do all things, let's do this. Let's work all day, all night. You're not going to feel like that forever. Ultimately, you're going to crash. You're going to get to a point where you're going to need to rest and catch up on all the sleep that you missed out on because you've just been a complete workhorse for the past 3 days, week, a month, 2 months. Like, Capricorns work hard, but Capricorns also need to learn to not fight the current, and go with the cycle of life, go with nature, go with the cycle of nature. There are high points, there are low points, there are stagnant points. That's life, right? I've done a video on stocks, and I'll probably do more video on stocks as time goes on. But I don't know if you pay attention to the stock market, but stocks go up and down, up and down. They hit high points, they hit low points. They stay stagnant for a little while, they go up, they go down again, right? Ride the wave, Even in the stock market, when it hits a low point, when it hits a high point, ride the wave. The analogy, the metaphor can, work for anything basically. So that's what I wanted to say, Capricorn. Ride the wave of productivity instead of fighting it and not pushing yourself to its highest potential. All right. The more you ride those waves, the hmm, the more you ride those waves, the less you'll have to even get in the water, I feel. Does that make sense? The more you ride those waves. I don't know where I'm going with this at this point. I'm just going into a rabbit hole in my own head. I'm going to pull myself out of it. And thank you for listening and watching, Capricorn. I hope you at least got something out of it. I'm going to have to figure that last part out because I think I was going somewhere with it, But I think it's just gonna take me a little bit too long to figure out in my head that you guys have time for, probably. So thank you for listening and watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ride those waves of prosperity and productivity. Know that eventually it's going to hit a low point, but it's going to go back up again eventually, right? So that's life, okay? Thank you, Capricorn, for listening and watching. Thank you for whoever's listening and watching, even if you're not a Capricorn. Check out my website, lamartownsendtarot.com, for your own private, confidential psychic tarot reading. And I appreciate you for listening and watching, okay? Until next time.